you are going to be in heaven when you've had a slice of my coconut slice.
Oh, wow, double slice.
Well, I'm not only going to double slice it, I'm going to quadruple my coconut input, and I'm going to show you all the different coconut products I use. Now, this is really easy to do, and it starts with 3 eggs. I'm going to get 3 eggs and crack them into here, and then once I've got them cracked into here, I'm going to start whisking them. And while I'm whisking these, you've got in front of you some flour and some baking powder. If you can put them into the sieve there and dust them together or sieve them together so they become nice and light and fluffy, and the baking powder, which gives it lift, will be incorporated really well into that flour. Wow. So while you do that, I'm going to whisk these egg yolks and these whites till they're nice and fluffy, just like me.
Oh, I was waiting.
You were waiting for that. Now, you could use an electric mixer or your beaters or anything you want with this, but for me, whisking it by hand is probably the easiest way to do it. And a slice like this is going to give you lots and lots of energy, so you need to burn off the energy first.
Look at this, my sifting skills over time just hanging out with you. I used to use my whole body, and now, look at that.
I used to sift like this, but back and forward like
Yeah,
you're doing a hula, like
I
you're swinging a hula hoop round.
I did.
Okay, now once I've got this whisked up, you can see it's nice and light and fluffy, and you've got that lovely colour, Australian eggs, perfect. We're going to put this sugar in here. Now, this is just a little bit of sugar, and you can see it's white sugar, which means it's going to be delicious and make this a fantastic little slice.
I love that for you that's a little bit, that's okay.
And we just mix that together like that until the sugar starts to dissolve, which doesn't take very long. Look at that, it's looking good, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, this is a little sabayon. You could heat it over water, but we're just going to keep on rocking along. And I reckon this is nearly ready. Nice and white, the sugar's dissolved
I
beautifully.
can see why some people might use a whisker, because this is quite a process and you might not have a pour like yourself.
A whisker? You mean like an electric beater or something?
An electric beater, that's what I meant.
But you say a couple of minutes, I had it all together.
You do.
Now, I've got some coconut oil here, which makes it lovely. So this is the first dose of coconut that we're going to use.
Dose, you're starting to use my lingo.
Well, almost. In it goes. I can prescribe myself some coconut oil. There we go. The dosage of that, I'll put 2 tablespoons of that in there to make it nice and flavoursome.
Lovely.
And the coconut oil is really good, gives it a lovely flavour as well. I have some coconut essence here, and this smells like the lotion that I would put on my skin and go out into the sun and get a lovely suntan.
Oh, well,
Never.
yes.
You want to
I was going to say melanoma. Do you want to tell us something? Yes, Australia has the highest skin cancer rates.
Something like that.
Please wear sunscreen. Don't listen to this man.
And that's probably why I try and stay right out of the sun, and I wear a hat everywhere. Now, I'm going to pour in the coconut milk here, and I won't use all of it because we're going to save some of this for the topping. So put that aside there, and I'll just mix this around until it's beautifully combined and that coconut oil is all dissolved. A little whisk like that, and it's coming together beautifully. Now, we only tap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And one more for good luck. And then we take it out and pop it over here. Now, the flour and the baking powder, I'm just going to fold it all through. You can hold that for me.
Oh, thank you.
I'll give you something to do.
That's nice.
You're looking a little bit lonely over there, with your princess outfit on. Now, pour that straight into there. That's it, all the way in. And if you can pass me that desiccated coconut over there, what I'm doing is folding this through. I don't want to knock the air out of the egg white. Just throw it straight in there.
Oh, wonderful.
I don't want to knock the air out, so this is a nice, gentle process of stirring it around like this. And this is really easy to do, and so easy, I'm going to hand it to you to mix around so you can do it. Because I'm going to do a little something special. I'm going to show you my sneaky little trick. And what I like to do, Preeya, is grab the Glad Bake like this and get the right amount, and then I just put my thumb on it here, tear it off, and then I'm going to pop it in here. But this is a little trick that I do. I grab some of this oil, and I give the tray a good little squirt like that, and then, watch closely,
I've seen this a few times.
Scrunch it up. Yeah, but I just need to make sure it sort of sinks in there, you know.
It's a good pro tip, and I use it at home now, but I also like the way you pointed the olive oil nozzle towards me. That was chivalrous.
Well, you never know. The bowl was in front of it, and I just push it in the centre. I find when you scrunch it up like this, it sits in there nicely. How are you going with that?
I think I've nailed it.
Yeah, I think so. Now, that's looking great. You can see all those lovely bits of coconut in there, and now this just needs to be poured onto the baking tray. All those lovely chunks of coconut are looking nice and delicious. And you can use a tray that's been buttered and floured, but I find if you use the Glad Bake underneath, it's really easy to take out of the tray. Smooth it out to the edge there. I have a little taste of that. That tastes delicious. That tastes fantastic. Into the oven, preheat it 175 degrees Celsius. Takes about 35 minutes to cook. When it's nice and golden, we'll do the next stage, which makes it even more delicious. More coconut as well. Okay, Preeya, it's been out of the oven for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to get you with, this is my Neptune fork. You like that?
I was wondering what this medieval creature was doing on the bench today.
Your job is to do this and spike it all the way around like this, all the way around, crazy like that. And what that does is going to allow the topping that I'm going to put on it, because I want more coconut in here. It's a nice little fork for doing that, isn't it?
Is this exactly what it's designed for? Or does this serve another purpose in your life?
This is only for spiking my coconut slice. That's what that thing was invented for.
Okay.
Well, that's the story I'm sticking to. Now, I've got a jug here. I've got a little bit of milk in the bottom. I'm pouring some condensed milk over the top of it. I love condensed milk.
It's very delicious.
I grew up on this stuff. This is my dairy when I lived in a little boy in Malaysia.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it takes me back to being a little boy. Now, we're also going to add some coconut in here. Now, the thing you'll find about this coconut, because it is 100% natural, it has a slightly grey colour to it. That's perfect. That's exactly what you want. That slightly grey colour means it hasn't been bleached, it hasn't been diluted, it hasn't had anything else done to it. It's just 100% coconut, and that's what we're looking for, because this is a coconut slice and we need lots and lots of coconut flavour. Now, I'll just whisk this around like this. The sponge or the cake or the slice is still nice and warm, and I'll just pour this over the top.
Wow, so the holes are so the flavour soaks into the sponge.
Exactly. Have a look and you'll see it soaking in. It keeps it nice and moist. It goes over the side there. It's like science, isn't it?
It is.
It's amazing how this works.
I can imagine you with a little beaker and a Bunsen burner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would have been a great scientist. I should have paid more attention to science in class. Kids, pay more attention to science in class. It comes in handy when you go to make cakes like this or slices.
True.
And then I have a little bit more desiccated coconut. Now, if we were going to compete on this and have a coconut count, there's no doubt that I would win this one. But I'm not a competitive person, and
really?
I haven't been counting at all. There seems to be a lot of coconut in this slice here, which makes it even more delicious.
There is layer and layer and layer upon coconut. I acknowledge that. However, I would say this is rather decadent. You've got quite a bit of sugar in here. There's the condensed milk. It's quite high sugar, so maybe a little bit occasionally, whereas a curry you can enjoy more often.
Decadent is Preeya's word for delicious, and that's what it's about. Now, I'm just going to cut a piece like this. It's nice and warm. I would normally let this sit aside, maybe in the fridge, for at least half an hour to allow all that coconut juice to soak into it. But, you know, we don't like mucking around.
We don't like to wait. That's the problem. We're impatient people.
Exactly. We like
Please
to
feed
get
us.
straight into it. Now, I'm just going to grab this little morsel of cake, grab that little piece there.
Thank you.
Oh, I can feel my heart just slowing down a little bit, just waiting to put this in my mouth.
This is very delicious. It is very decadent, I'd say. The sugar quantity, the condensed milk, you would enjoy a small amount sometimes, I think. But this is very, very yummy, and I'm loving the texture through there too with the coconut.
With a nice cup of tea. Delicious.
We need a cup of tea.
That'd be great.